literally new phone. We have upped the camera quality. Okay, I know I said that if I was gonna continue with the tubes that I'd get a real camera, but then I also need a new phone, so I was like, all right, let's compromise here. We're gonna get the iPhone 12X Pro, 12 Pro, I don't know, with a good camera, and it'll be the best of both worlds. So I hope you can tell a difference, but we don't have a new mirror. We need a new clean mirror is what we need. But it is Saturday. I'm feeling really freaking good. It's about to be a good ass day. First, we're gonna take the pup, I locked him out, the pup on a walk, and then get the day rolling, okay? Let's go. Stevie. Now it's a good morning. Got my decaf coffee. You guys know, decaf on training days. I'm gonna go work out in about an hour and a half, so I'll be having pre-workout then. So I like to stick to decaf. Yeah, so little prep update. We are 15 weeks out today. So still a good while, but hit new lows the last 2 days. Still have literally no cardio. It's actually so freaking cool because I'm pretty much back. I'm like 0.6 of a pound away from where I was when I ended my last cut, where I was already 250 calories less than I am now and had 4 35-minute cardio sessions a week. And right now I have 0 cardio. I'm 250 calories above that, and I'm already almost back down to that weight, which is super dope. So I'm just really excited to see where we take this, and I know we're in a good position right now. I'm gonna go ahead and post my physique pictures from the most recent check-in here so you can kind of see where we're at. I think the last time I checked in with pictures with you guys was 17 and a half weeks out, so 2.5 weeks progress. You can at least tell a difference in my posing. That's getting better. But something I wanted to talk about today in this video was how to fit drinking and alcohol into your goals and how to still incorporate those things when you have physique goals and are getting dialed into your nutrition and training, and how that can still play a role. When it comes to alcohol, there's a lot of things you have to consider here. Alcohol is calories, right? And so if we're ever trying to change our physique, we are looking in some way, shape, or form at energy in or energy out. And I figured this would be a perfect day to do it because I'm actually going to be incorporating a little bit myself today. So today is one of my good friends' birthdays, and I told myself that if I didn't get dropped and I still was at a pretty good intake place as far as calories and macros go this week, that I would save a little bit of room for a reasonable amount of alcohol. I'm so far out from my show that, you know, calories are still high enough where I can fit it in and still be getting plenty of real food, but this will definitely be my last time of probably incorporating any alcohol. So that'll be fun. And if for some reason coach is watching this, I hope it's okay. But as far as prep goes, I am tracking macros with my coach, not on a meal plan. So I can choose the foods that fit my macros. Now, of course, 99.999% of the time, especially now in prep, I'm making sure those choices are clean sources, whole foods, as much nutrients as I can, which is why people are like, why can't you just have a drink on prep, or why, like, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, I just don't want to sacrifice any of the calories I have from real food. But like I said, we're still at a decent spot right now, and this is going to be probably the only time in the next 15 weeks, and I haven't had alcohol in 3 or 4 weeks now, so yeah, me justifying my actions. But I was like, perfect, it'll also be a good learning opportunity too. So when it comes to alcohol and why we need to care about it, alcohol has caloric value, right? So just like macros have calories per gram, alcohol does as well. It's just not a macronutrient we need to survive, although I guess some would argue that we don't track it, right? But per gram, alcohol has 7 calories. So we have to track that caloric amount if we are paying attention to numbers, paying attention to hitting goals. And the reason that it gets confusing is because the calories are not coming from carbs or fat or protein, they're coming from alcohol. So when you're tracking macros, if you're inputting, in MyFitnessPal, a glass of red wine, sure, it's taking 130 calories away from your goal, but it's not taking anything away from your carbs and fats because there's no carbs or fats in that alcohol. So what happens is you're still left with these carb and fat goals to hit. And if you hit them, you're going to be going way over on your calories because you did already use some calories for that wine. Does that make sense? So we need to track it in another way. So how I track my alcohol is by using carbs and fats to account for the alcohol, which you can see why you don't want to spend the majority of your time always using calories for alcohol then, because they're not true carbs or fats. You're not getting true nutrients from those carbs and fats. But let's take an example. So today I am going to budget for the entire day to have 4 shots of tequila. Probably in tequila soda form. Don't worry, Mom, not straight shots. Probably straight shots. Because we are going to be spending the whole day at the pool, so it's a long day, okay? So 4 is really not a lot. But let's take this example. So in a shot of tequila, a shot is 1.5 ounces. In 1.5 ounces of tequila, it is 103 calories. So I want to plan for having 4, okay? So I'm going to take 103 times 4, which is 412 calories. So what you never want to do is use protein to fill your alcohol calories. We still need to hit our protein goal. They need to come from carbs and fats. Right now my macros are 200 carb, 55 fat, and 140 protein. So I've got like a moderate amount of carbs and fats. So I'm going to use a combination of both. And I've decided that I want to use 15 grams of fat and I think I said 70 grams of carbs. Let me double check my math really quick. Okay, I got my calculator. See, if I did get a real camera, this would be so much easier because I'm literally showing you on MyFitnessPal. So 15 grams of fat, 70 grams of carbs. So why that works is because there's 9 calories in a gram of fat, right? So I'm using 15 grams of fat. So I do 15 times 9. So 135 of my alcohol calories are coming from fat calories. And then 70 grams of carbs, there's 4 calories in a gram of carbs. So 70 times 4 is 280. So 280 calories are coming from carbs. And then if you add that 280 and 135 together, that's 415 calories. So perfectly accounting for my 412 calories from tequila. So what I'll do, and I'll post a little screen share video on the side here if there's room somewhere of me doing this, but I pay for the premium version of MyFitnessPal. It makes it a lot easier, and you'll just go to quick add, put in the 70 grams of carbs, 15 grams of fat. It'll take away the calories and the macros, so that way I still know what I have left to work with from a carbs, protein, fat standpoint for the rest of the day. And why I'm caring about this and trying to figure this out at 8:20 in the morning is not because I'm about to have my tequila at 8:20 in the morning, but because I want to make sure that I am hitting my goals the rest of the day. So because I know this is already going to be a part of my day, I want to pre-plan for it. It's the first thing I'm putting into MyFitnessPal. And then I can go and put in the rest of the day and make sure I'm on track. So I hope that kind of made sense. I guess to like lay it out again, basically you want to account for the calories you're going to be having in alcohol from your macros, because you're tracking macros. If you are tracking macros, not calories. And just because we take away calories in MyFitnessPal, it's not necessarily taking away macros. And this is also why you look at a White Claw and it's like, oh, it only has 2 grams of carbs, 0 fat, 0 protein. Where does the rest of the calories come from then? Because it should have only 8 calories then if it has 2 grams of carbs, because 2 times 4, 4 calories in a gram of carbs equals 8, but it comes from the alcohol. So we have to account for that. So by deciding how much fat you want to spare for the day, how many carbs you want to spare for the day, maybe you use all carbs, maybe you use all fat, depending on what your macro breakdown looks like, and then you do the math, put that in there, and work around the rest of the day. Now, what I really want to advocate is if you're going to be having like a big old day for some reason and you're going to be drinking a lot, which obviously I don't recommend often, it's definitely not aiding in your goals. Alcohol does impair muscle protein synthesis, as well as it's just very calorically dense. If, you know, for whatever reason that's going to happen, I would just say that's a day where just don't worry about it and don't try to fit in 1,200 calories worth of alcohol if you only are eating, you know, 1,700 a day, because then you're only getting 500 calories from real food, and that's not good. Like, I would so much rather you be a little bit over your calories for the day and be getting real food in as well. So hopefully that was helpful as far as how to fit alcohol into your goals. Like I said, it totally can. I mean, you just have to realize that obviously the more you're doing it, the more calories you're not getting from real food. It does impact muscle protein synthesis. Like I said, it does improve, you know, if it's bleeding into how you're feeling the next day, and then that means it's bleeding into how you're hitting your training session, and et cetera, et cetera. You do have to take those factors into account and really decide what's important to you. But if you want to fit it in here and there, you definitely can. So hopefully this was helpful. Now let's get some breakfast, let's go hit a lift, and let's have a fun ass day. Hey Steve. Hey. Let's go to the pool. So I haven't really done any of the editing yet, but this will probably be one of the shortest vlogs there are because I didn't really record anything yesterday from being at the pool or going out. I kind of forgot. I'll get better in the habit of vlogging, but I did want to record this quick outro, just being real and raw with you guys. Like I said, I was going to be about this journey from the get-go, because yesterday was kind of like the first test and really seeing like how hard this prep is going to be from a social standpoint. And I knew that. I am not going to complain. I'm choosing to do this. This is my choice, but it really does have a big impact on your social life. And I'm sure as I go, it's going to on my friendships and relationships, because you just can't quite do everything the same. You know, you can't just like go out to eat when everyone wants to, and you can't just drink. And, you know, I explained to you guys how I was budgeting for alcohol, and I did do that. But there was a point where I was like, ugh, like, I'm hungry. I want real food, and I have to choose. Look, I know people will say, why do you need to drink? Like, you can go out and have fun without it. Why do you need alcohol? And like 100% you're right. But I mean, come on, like, let's be real. That is a huge social aspect for a lot of people. It always has been for me. And it's not that I like can't have fun, but it's definitely not quite the same experience. So it's gonna be testing, and I said this from the beginning. I said this in my first prep series video, that my biggest fear, or what I think is gonna be the biggest challenge of this prep, isn't going to be being hungry, or like, that's all gonna be hard and suck, but it's the social aspect, and just kind of having FOMO and feeling like I'm missing out and not able to do all these things, because to an extent, like, you're not. But again, that's what I'm choosing. So obviously prep is an extreme. I will say that over and over. Prep is an extreme. Everything you will see me do the next now 14 weeks is an extreme, and you don't need to be going to these lengths to reach your goals, nor should you be if you're just a lifestyle person. But my point also that I want to make here is that goals do require sacrifice. And yeah, maybe you don't need to track every ounce of alcohol in all your food, and you can have days where you don't worry about it now and then, like, and you're gonna be fine. But you do have to understand there is a trade-off, and sometimes you have to pick. Do I want to reach my goals, or do I want to go enjoy a lot of drinks and food with my friends every weekend? Like, some weekends you can, and some weekends you might need to, you know, buckle down. So that's kind of what I thought would be a good takeaway that everyone could have from this. It's just asking yourself, am I willing? What do I want the most? What are my priorities? Am I willing to put in the work? And that's kind of what you decide. And you know what? Yesterday was tough, and I know that it's only going to get tougher, but I want this. I'm willing to put in the work, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. I hope that this video was helpful as far as how to go about tracking alcohol. Like I said, it can absolutely fit into your goals. You can fit fun into your goals, but know that there is a balance, and you've got to have that discipline and sacrifice to get where you want to be. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on the flip side.